Okay, well, let me show you what I'm sending you. This report, it's about 60 pages long. So there's a lot of stuff to go over, and I know it may sound complicated at first. You don't have to do everything right away, but just pick out the things you want to follow up first, and there'll be things here actually you could dip back into for many years, forward. Because what's neat about government programs, they rarely change, man. That's the problem with the government. It stays there forever. And we have new programs, and they add them, and they don't get rid of the old programs. So that's what happens. And so they'll be here for you, even in a couple of months, couple of weeks, couple of years from now. So keep this handy, so you have it for later. And I have two videos. So I have a video on the government money programs, because that's what changes all the time. And then I have non-government stuff, or non-government money sources, and that's on the internet, and I explain those. That's in part the second half video. And also in there, I explain how government offices that are helpful, but they don't provide money. So let's go through the first ones here. So you have a couple levels of government. You have a city, county, state, and federal. So I go through all of them. See, that's the problem with this information stuff. It's all there. It's not when you don't go to Washington and find it all. No, very few is in Washington. It's all at the local, and it could be state, could be fed, could be county, could be city, or nonprofit organizations. So that's what we're going to concentrate on in this first half. Okay, in your city. Okay, there's rental house discounts. You probably heard of them a lot. Sometimes there's waiting lists for these. But the interesting thing to me is, man, the income on these things to be eligible for that is up to $37,500. I just think you had to be poor, to have a subsidized rental house. But no, $37,000 here. Okay, also become a real estate entrepreneur with your property by putting them on these lists. Because the government then pays you your rent. That's great. So that's a little more secure than doing it yourself. So here's the information about doing that too. Or here, $3,700 to help you buy a house. So that's a city program, to help you do that. Okay, or $12,000 to fix up your home. That's right, $12,000, man. So it's amazing. I mean, that's right. To me, the good stuff is not advertised. If you put in money to fix up your house in Google, that's not going to be there. It's going to be somebody selling you money. These people are giving this for free. Grants to test and eliminate lead paint in your house. This is a big problem. If you're building, I don't know if the paint was in there before 1978, or I forget what it is. But be aware of that in case. Discount rental units on incomes up to $3,700. I think I mentioned that. $120,000 to fix up your home if it's a business. See, I don't know. Check the details on this loan program, and you may want to put, even if you're opening a business or whatever, they call it facade loans. And they're there to help you fix up your business. So many of us work at home, so maybe you're in a commercial house, commercial zone for that. I don't understand the zoning. You have to find out about that. But it's something. It's a structure that you could fix up with this kind of money, but it has to be used for business. So now the problem is your home, this kind of business or not? Most of us are working out of our home anyway. So maybe this is good. So that's why I put it in here. Okay, your county, get a 20% discount on your mortgage and a grant for closing costs. That's right. So you get a discount, a mortgage that's 20% lower than normal, and you get a grant for closing costs. So grants for home repair and weatherization. Okay, here's all the sources, where to put up. Now here's a program, right? All you have to do is come up with $1,000 and you're in a home. That's right, $1,000. Say bed, borrow, steal, whatever that is. The government takes care of all the rest to get you in a home. Or here, how to get a 20% discount on a mortgage. Down payment money to purchase a home. That's what that money's for. Or free help understanding the pros and cons of reverse mortgage. Seniors that are getting hooked with reverse mortgage, I mean, they're all selling you. These are slick salesmen or whatever. So the government gives grants to people to help explain this for you from people who are not trying to sell you something, because you never get the story, the full story, if you just listen to people who are trying to sell you something. Because the people trying to sell you something, they're going to make it sound like you're just going to be the biggest fool in the world not to do this, and they'll have a great answer for any objection you have, because that's their job. So be careful. Owner-occupied home rehabilitation money. So these are homes that you live in, and there's money to fix them up. Money for seniors for home repair and adaptation, because as you're a senior, you need railings and steps or no steps or ramps and all this kind of stuff. There's money for that. Emergency mortgage and utility assistance. Wow, that's available there. Nonprofits provide free help and money to fix up a home. See, look at all these nonprofits, that are there for fix-up money. I mean, there's 2 dozen of them in here. And that's why. See, you'll never find this when you Google. And that's why it's so important to remember. Google is just a piece of the puzzle. It's good for something. It handles volume, but it can't get specific unless you know. If you're looking for TMM Family Services, then you could find them. If you put in rehabilitation money, they'll never pop up, because there's too many people selling that money are going to be on the first 50 pages before you get to them. Okay, make an appointment with a housing counselor. That's something that you ought to do right away. These are people, again, they get money to help you with all the problems of buying a home. They know the system. They're not in it to sell you anything. They just help you through the process so you don't get screwed. It's an important thing. I got a list, show you all the people. If you don't like one, you go to another. So that's a free service to help vets. Man, if you're a vet, man, these organizations, they're in every county, and there's a video there. By the way, I have videos for the counselors too to see that they get twice as much money as anybody else for getting vets money. So if you're a vet, you want anything from the government, go to these offices. Free professional help for any aspect of real estate if it generates income. This is anything. So if you have a house and you're flipping houses, or you want to go in the real estate business or anything, see, these are professional management business experts that help you for free with any problem. As a freelancer, as a contractor, anything with commerce. They're there to help you for free. It's amazing that people don't use these things. I mean, I used to use them all the time for my Fortune 500 clients. They use the hell out of them. And you should too. I mean, that's why you need accounting help, you need management help, you need technical help. They get it done for free for you, but they don't advertise. They'll never find it. 211, amazing thing. Okay, this is something like, it's like Google, but just for free stuff. For nonprofit and government offices. So this is where you could Google anything. Like here, if you Google here, I Google mortgages, and there's 127 million websites in Google for mortgages, and I put it in 211 for mortgage, and I got 35 results. Now the difference between 127 million, besides the size, is that every one of these 35 in 211 are not going to charge you a penny for anything. And you could search that database for anything. Legal help, there's 67 there. Child care, there's 98 people there. 98 people helping you for free with child care. It's just incredible. That's why I call it the second best source of free money. I think I'm the first. Because I could take things and show you how it's more valuable than the people who have it think it is. And that's the important thing. There was a program the government has, one of my favorite ones is called Urban Homesteading Act. I was reading that's houses for $1. But if you look at the titles of Urban Homestead, who cares? That sounds like an old cowboy movie. Free money help for housing issues for seniors. That's just for that. Money help pay for utility bills, okay? Any kind of utility bills you have a problem. Okay, your state, $50,000 to help pay your mortgage so you don't get foreclosed on. $50,000 to pay your back mortgage payments. Isn't that phenomenal? Man, but that's there. And that's a program. Okay, a helpline. Get down payment money. What was that? I dropped it out here. Now my thing is spinning around. Home Plus, okay, money, okay, $50,000, get down payment grants with incomes up to $92,000. That's why so many people think that, I have to be now here, you get a grant for down payment money and your income can go up to $92,000. Wow. I mean, that's why you just don't know. That's an important thing. Anybody says anything about government programs or anything like this, grants, loans, and stuff like that, they're probably right, but that's only one. There's 15,000 programs. Everyone has different requirements, so you got to go out there and look. Multifamily mortgage bonds, so that's right, you're an investor, you want to do that. $20,000 down payment money to buy a home. See if you're eligible for the government subsidized mortgage. Now these are just experts on government programs. Because if you go and talk to a banker or broker or something like that, they'll just want to sell you stuff. talk to these people first. They'll tell you if they have there's one for you. You could save money or refinance and all that kind of stuff. Here's banks that get government grants to put into your savings accounts. That's right. There's grants. They get grant money and they put it in your savings account. So if you're buying for a home or saving for a home or education or business, you put in $1, they put in $2, $3, $4, $5. So it builds up, astronomically fast because they're putting in 80, 90% of the money sometimes. Okay, $6,500 to weatherize your home. Okay, and then federal programs, 50% discount on homes. And it's there, the program. It is all there. Okay, now go to part 2 to get the rest of the stuff. Okay, now let me go over some of the, let's say, non-government money sources and the non-money government sources for housing. Okay, first is peer-to-peer loans. I mean, everybody knows that the traditional loans. You go to the bank and to give them money to lend to somebody other money, and they make a lot of money. They make middle, and if you go to the bank to borrow money, you get charged a lot, and if you go to the bank to save money, you don't get much. So that's why these peer-to-peer loans that are now popping up on their website, man, I think this is going to revolutionize everything. Not overnight, but it's growing. I mean, there's billions and billions of dollars now here, and it's a place to get money with cutting out the middleman. In other words, so if you go to a bank and put in $1 or something, they're only giving you like 1% nowadays on your money. And then if you go to borrow, they're charging you 10, 12% or something like that. So now on these peer-to-peer loans, what happens is that individuals go to the website and lend money to people, but in mass, so that you get 100 people lending you $10,000 or something like that. And so they're getting 3 or 4%, and you're only getting charged like 4, 5, 6%, 7% or something like that. So that's why everybody's winning, except the fat cats on Wall Street, with the investors in the banks, and it makes it just a lot more personal and everything. So that's why I think there's a lot of reasons why this is going to grow. So I got some of the more popular ones. A lot of them, these are for businesses and things like that, for small businesses, large businesses, and that people use them, individual loans. And see, what's neat about this stuff is that it's so much easier. It's faster. And also here's the banks, for community development financial institutions. These banks are banks, but they're friendly community banks, like the old ones in the movies. What was that movie with Jimmy Stewart? Where he had a little community bank and everybody was borrowing money from them, and the bank was going to go bankrupt and everybody's going to lose their house. Well, that's how these banks work. They're involved in the community. They're not invested because of they have to make people on Wall Street happy. It's the community. So that's why they're friendlier, they're nicer, they're lower interest rate. Okay, also you can make a lot of money from your home from the shared economy. I don't know if you read about this, but this is really taking over so much of our world now because of the internet. It's a way people are using the internet to do things themselves, make extra money, cut out middlemen. Nothing's traditional anymore. This is why more people are earning money, part-time on the internet and stuff like that than traditional jobs now, it seems. And that seems to be the way things are going. And they're piecing together different kinds of income. Well, now with a home, that's an asset. You become now a capitalist because you own a home or even rent an apartment or anything. You could act like a capitalist and make money from the fact that you own a home, not just your labor, or you're at a home, or you have a place. And one way is through Airbnb. I don't know if you know about this. This is like instead of hotels, people are using Airbnb. This only started like 5 years ago or so, and now they're a bigger company than any of the big hotel chains. They're probably the most valuable company. They're more valuable than any hotel chain. They're something like $50 billion now. It depends on who you count. Some have 40 or whatever. I mean, Hyatt Hotels is only like 13 billion. But see, what's interesting about Airbnb, they have only like 2,000 or 3,000 employees. Hyatt Hotel has like 130,000 employees or something like that. But Airbnb is making money for like 1 million people, and now I've read like 1.5 million people. So it's a way to make money. Like we make a bunch of money off our apartment that we have in Washington D.C. just because we have an apartment. We put on Airbnb, and see, these platforms take care of everything. You don't have to worry about collecting money. You don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about marketing. They do it all. And it's amazing. And so now it's sort of like becoming a entrepreneur with training wheels or something like that. It's a great way. So now because you have a home, you have an extra room, you can make money. I mean, people are making $500 a month or whatever, off an extra room. People are putting tents in their backyard even and renting that out. Actually, it's called Airbnb because people started with an air mattress in their living room renting that out. And so there's all ways to make money. Look at that. I got an article there about how to use it or how to be an Airbnb host, or how to get money. It costs you nothing to try. See, that's the other thing. None of this stuff now costs any money to try to make money at. That's what's neat. Most of these, schemes or whatever that were on the internet and everything, they wanted money from you. That's how they made money, was getting money from you. Here it costs nothing to try, and you only give them a small percent after you get the money, and they collect the money, they check out the money, they do all the hard nonsense stuff that most of us don't like doing, and that's why this is growing so fast. Okay, another way, through pets. Pets is another way, and I'll show you how I do that. People make $1,000 a month or so extra because they have another puppy around or something like that for a few days. And because there's a growing business in the pet business, there's a website shows you how to do it. And you just sign up and see what happens. If you have room, you don't have to be a house owner. You can be a renter or an apartment renter and do this. Make money from your parking space when you're not using it. That's right. Just park. People, space. I mean, you're like a Wall Street fat cat, making your money make money. So here you can make your assets make money. That's what's neat about it. Or here's one for pet lovers. There's more about pet lovers. Or have people over for dinner, right, and make money. People from out of town love to have local people, and this has now become a big business. So if you like cooking for people, you can make money at it. Have friends over for dinner. It's not thousands of people like, a bus drives up to your house, a nice couple or two couples from from somewhere you never heard of, have dinner with you, and they're happy to spend money. That's it. Now here's another thing: is crowdfunding. That's another thing, to make money. And I'll show you soon in real estate, but it's used for anything. This is now one of the biggest things. That's up to $34 billion or whatever they're giving out last year. And it costs nothing. You don't have to pay the money back. It's free to do. See, that's nothing. All this stuff is free. No income requirements, no credit check. You keep the money forever. No complicated business forms, no business plans, no lawyers, no accountants. All this stuff, when you go out and try to get money for doing anything, that's what you usually have to do. It's fast, and there's no fat cat gatekeepers. Nobody's saying to say, well, you can't do this. Nobody's going to buy this. It doesn't matter. You go on the crowds, and the crowds tell you, and it costs nothing to do that. So for sure, and you don't do it until they give you the money. Now I have a video there shows you how to set up a website. You have to remember it costs nothing. Some of these websites only take 20, 30 minutes to do. I have samples of people do this, startup money. They get like $500,000, and they don't even need a product. No product. Hey, I'm going to do this. You guys interested? And if they say yes, they give money, and then you collect enough money. Okay, I got enough to do it now. I'll come back next year, send you the product. Well, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, would you go to Macy's and have them walk in, here's money, I'll come back next year and pick up the product? That's what people are doing on the internet. Why? Doesn't matter why, it's there. You're looking for a way to survive. This is a tool. These are all tools now in our society. There's dozens of people here. I show you my videos here. So I've interviewed like 700 people have done this. Also now you could use it for buying a home too, crowdfunding money. Now here I have some articles. What I did is I took articles that are out there that I reviewed and everything. They seem a good place to understand how to do it. For buying a property, fixing up property, and things like that, how doing it. Then I show you websites that are just for that. I mean, the major websites, if you heard of like Indiegogo or GoFundMe and places like that, they're not specific for housing. But these that I show you are for housing. So that's sort of interesting. You try both. I don't know what works. Nobody knows what works. You can ask all the advice you want, and until you try it, you really don't know. Okay. And also for investments, people want to flip homes. That's a big idea nowadays. Well, crowdfunding you could use for that. People are doing that now. Even the big time, flippers or whatever. Flippers. Wasn't that a TV show or something, or whatever? And they're using it because it's a new way, it's a faster way, it's a better way, it's a fun way to get the money you need instead of talking to some stuffy banker. And that's what I have a video of a woman who runs one of these sites, that people use for flipping houses and things like that. A couple articles and then I show you other websites that do that. Now, another thing that people really meetups are very popular now. That people get together in groups and talk about stuff or whatever. Well, now you go to any city. There's 100. They're like AA meetings, but they're for everything. You go down. I did it for your city. I did one, and you just put in like business and careers or something, and you'll see dozens and dozens, depending on the city, how many there are. And find one for real estate investors. There'll be one, there'll be two, there'll be a dozen, there'll be 20, there'll be 50, or whatever. And just show up. It costs $20 for a cheap meal or something like that, and that's it. But you find other real estate investors. If you don't know about this stuff, what you're probably doing is going online and searching Google, and looking for how to invest in real estate or something. And you'll get some huckster like me who will try to sell you something. And you don't have to do that, And why? Because then it's painful. It costs a lot of money. They have courses now, thousands of dollars worth. Donald Trump was selling them for like $20,000 or something, how to invest in real estate. You go to a meetup. And actually, by the way, he started his whole empire with a government property in Cincinnati, the ones I showed you about earlier, and so you could go to these groups and find out how other people are doing it. Then you have a friend who's in the business, who's doing it, other people like that could help you know exactly what's going on in your area because they probably already tried it and failed. So that's a better way to learn. Than spending thousands of dollars on some course or whatever, and who the hell knows what you get. Trump's getting sued like hell out of these things. All that. I was involved and I saw all this stuff happening, all these get-rich-quick schemes. It just takes effort, and the knowledge is there. And it's just putting it to work and trying and trying and trying. Oh, here's another thing. It's fat cats, angels. And you could go, what's neat about the internet too is that it's getting everybody in a barrel. So all these fat cats that are out there want to invest in stuff, they're now all online. They're looking most of these websites, I'll show you, like angels.co, they're looking for companies or techie stuff or some kind of small business going. But real estate, I'm sure they'd be interested. You got to find somebody. But at least you have, like here, for your state, there's over there's 4,000 or 5,000 people in your state, fat cats, interested in investing in ideas. They're right there. Wow. All their contact information is there. Before when I was growing up, you had to belong to the country club or something like that to find help like this, or get in touch with these people, or beat on them, or whatever it is. And there's other websites that have similar kind of thing. And then here's what I put in. This is where government offices that, well, they don't give out money, but they can get your money back. Because so many people get screwed nowadays. People who don't treat you right and stuff like that. Or you don't know your rights, and everybody thinks you have to spend $500 an hour or $200 an hour, whatever lawyers cost anymore, and to get justice, but you don't. You could get the best attorneys in the world to work for you for free. You just have to learn the system. And they're there, and they have to fight for you. That's what they're there for, because they regulate that industry. So it's the cops. See, every business, everybody has cops that they have to report to, and you find those cops, and they come down, and even if you, the customer, are wrong, they have to investigate anyway. So that's what's neat. So you have power in the system this way. Otherwise, if you don't know about this, you have no power to me, because you have to spend, $500, $1,000, $2,000 on a lawyer to get back at somebody, because they'll just say, no, I'm sorry, or whatever, and get a letter from their lawyer. And their lawyers, even if you get your lawyers, are going to be better than your lawyer. They do this all the time. but nobody's good. It's sort of like you getting a letter from the IRS that you owe them, $75. Well, even if the IRS is wrong, you probably pay them, right? Just to get it off your back. Well, for business, it's the same way. The insurance company gets a letter that they owe you $500, or you say they owe them $500. It's cheaper to pay you the $500 than to talk to that bureaucracy for the next 3 months or whatever the hell it is, and possibly lose and be fined or be thrown out of business. They have too much to lose by screwing with the government. It's easier to pay you off. So banks are that way, real estate brokers are that way, insurance companies are that way, even lawyers. There's even a pot of money, in your state capital for lawyers who ran off with your money. So we all that. And then how to check for any professional. And then also there's a national bill with the Federal Trade Commission that you could get, if bill collectors don't treat you nicely, you could get $1,000 from them. That's right, get $1,000 for them. I show you how to do that. It's something you could threaten from, when they say, hey, you're violating the law? Here's the law, look it up, and here's what I'm going to pursue. And then I show you how to get free research help on anything. Google is a problem. It's good, it handles a lot of stuff, but you really have to know exactly what you're looking for. Like up earlier, we talked about, you put in mortgage debt, and you'll get 170 million websites or whatever, and that's why it's just overwhelming. You don't know exactly what to ask for. Now, it's great if you know what to ask for. You're looking for Matthew Lesko. Then you could find everybody like me. But if you're looking for money to solve a problem and you do that, then Matthew Lesko will probably find you, because if I spend a lot of money on Google, I want to find people who have that question. And I'm going to spend a lot of money on Google because I know I can maybe get money from you. See, and that's what Google's all about. If it's a place to spend money. If you want to spend money doing something, Google, because everybody who wants to get money from you spends a lot of time and energy and money trying to figure out Google, how to make sure you see them when you go to Google. So that's what those first two videos are all about. And then I tell you about 211org, the organization I list up above. These are wonderful, because this is a database of all nonprofit and government offices that solve problems. So nobody in their database will charge you a penny. Wow. And I call them the second best in the world, because I feel I'm the best because I'll show you a lot more because I understand more of these things than they do. But this is a wonderful source, and I turn to it finding something and checking things. So even on reports, if I miss something or whatever, they don't have a lot of stuff I have, because I somehow have a knack of taking something that they give and they don't see how it can be used for some reason, like houses for $1. They used to call it the Urban Homesteading Act. So if you saw Urban Homesteading Act, you wouldn't know what the hell it was, right? It's a house for $1, right? So, okay, your local library, people don't forget about that. That's wonderful. They'll do research for you. They know experts, particularly local sources for money and help. And then your elected official. Watch this video there we have on how to use your elected official, because they are the most important source that we all have, and they'll work for you for free. They want to do this for free, because if they help you with something, you'll vote for them no matter what they do. They get caught with their hand in a cookie jar, and as long as they got you a $50,000 grant or something, you'll still vote for them probably. And they know that. This is why they stay in business. All their staff is aimed at doing favors for constituents, people like you who are going to vote. And they want to do that. And they have special access to government offices that you and I don't. You and I have to go in the front door. These people have a backdoor phone number to call, because the government office gets paid from the congressmen and senators, the elected officials. That's where they get their money. They don't get it from us. We give it to the government, and then Congress decides how to spend it. So that's why they keep everybody in Congress happy. So they'll answer a question and solve the problem a lot faster from them than they will you or me. That's just the way the world works. May not be right, may not be justice or whatever, but that's what it is. And it's a system. We all have access to it, no matter who we are in this country. And that's what I'm trying to do, is make sure everybody knows what's available and how to use it. Because if you don't, you're going to go on Google and think that's reality when it's not. Man, there's so much there for us all if we just start using it.